News this afternoon. Police authority demotes officers for assaulting man in MOR LGA. PDP dismisses alleged suspension of Rivers' former federal lawmakers. Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi backs Julius Abure as party chairman. Chairman Aviation Union in Rivers State, Razak Animusan, speaks on next line of action by aggrieved workers. On the foreign scene, India population to surpass China by mid-2023. I am Kala Dakurubatabu. Good afternoon. Remember, peace is the path to the prosperity of any nation. Let peace reign. The Nigerian police force has demoted the policeman who was seen in a viral video assaulting a man along MOR Road in River State. The policeman Adejo Siaka was demoted from the rank of inspector to sergeant following complaints and findings from the video, which was widely circulated on social media. Force Public Relations Officer Muyiwa Adejobi in a statement on Tuesday said Siaka's demotion followed an orderly room trial. He said Siaka was sanctioned for assault, discreditable conduct and incivility to members of the public. The statement said the second officer, Sergeant Indiwa Kwebari, who was also present at the scene but took no step to discourage the inappropriate act, was reprimanded, while the third officer, Inspector Friday Obaka, who was later discovered to have been absent from the scene, was acquitted. All three policemen will now be posted out of River State to order command and formations to continue their police duties. Some Port Harcourt residents have expressed worries that despite efforts made at stopping illegal bunkering in River State, military personnel are still involved in the illegal activity. They were reacting to reports that soldiers were disarmed by a suspected oil thief during an argument over the sharing formula of oil bunkering proceeds in Rundele community, MOR local government area. They told our correspondent that the unfortunate situation means that it will be difficult for the government to completely eradicate oil bunkering in the states.
The military hierarchy have a duty to ensure that such persons' finger in such situations are appropriately dealt with in line with the military order.
Governor Nyesom Wike is kicking against oil bunkering. It is a way of protecting the environment and the lives of indigenes of River State and those residing and doing business in River State.
Persons that are doing the oil bunkering activity are the men in uniform. The civilians are only aiding them. Oil bunkering cannot stop because the people that are involved in the oil bunkering activities are the people in governance. It can cease for a while, but they will still continue.
If the government truly know that what they are doing is not, they have their own action to take.
The River State Police Command says normalcy has returned to the Elechi Beach axis of Mile 1 due Port Harcourt after two rival court groups engaged in a shootout. Spokesperson of the command, SP Gracie Ringe Koko, said two police patrol vans have been deployed to the area on the orders of the Commissioner of Police, CP Effiong Gokon. She also said that no life was lost. It was gathered that the crisis was a supremacy battle over territorial control due to illegal bunkering activities in the area. The situation caused some business owners to lock their shops and flee the area. It was gathered that the crisis started last week Saturday with two persons said to be feared dead. Away from that, a Port Harcourt-based lawyer Eugene Ode says the 1 million naira deposit required from any of the candidates filing a petition at the Election Tribunal Committee is a stopgap measure to control frivolous filing of cases before the tribunal. Our correspondent had gathered that only 76 petitioners, including governorship, national and state House of Assembly candidates, are currently challenging the decisions of INEC to declare their opponent in the 2023 general elections, and that the 1 million naira is compulsorily required for any petitioner before the petition can be processed at the election tribunal. Though officials of the tribunal declined to make comments on the reasons for the money deposit as requirement for filing the petition, our correspondent gathered that it used to be 450 naira in previous election petitions, and the volume of petitions were more in number compared to this year. Explaining the rationale behind the deposit from petitioners, Mr. Ode tells correspondent Soibi Ruwari that it is a normal practice and it is refundable if the petitioner has not filed a case to waste the time of the courts.
The money it's actually like a refundable deposit, so that if your appeal is found to be meritorious, you recover your sum from source. But if you found out eventually that the appeal lacked merit, that's also is a way of jolting parties to be serious with litigation. Often people just come and don't deal and just walk away, and then they just crowd the docket of the court of appeal, which is already suffering shortage of manpower. Those kind of measures are stopgap measures to prevent parties who just come to court to take the court for a ride.
The legal practitioner also defended the 1 million naira deposit as a mark of seriousness from the court.
1 million naira is not too much for them. You know how much they decide to buy their phone? Anybody who is going for election should have paid this one after election. All those monies should have been. Of course, you're also going to pay lawyers who are coming to court. The thing is not for everybody. It's not for everybody. If you know you concede your defeat and go home, and they know that they have a good cost, a reasonable course of action to pursue. 1 million naira should challenge their life as a definite payment, like a deposit to prove that you're serious about your matter. If they found out that your matter had merit, you retrieve your money back.
The National Working Committee of the PDP has dismissed reported suspension of Senator George Sekibo Austin Akbara from the party by the ward executives of Ward 2 of Ogubolo Local Government Area and Ward 10 of Port Harcourt City Local Government Area of River State. The NWC, in a statement issued by the National Publicity Secretary, Degbo Olugunagba, said after a thorough consideration of the petitions by Senator Sekibo and Austin Akbara dated April 17, it described the purported suspension and the action of the ward executives, which borders on issues of discipline, as null and void and of no effect, as it is not consistent with the constitution of the PDP. The presidential candidate of the PDP, Atiku Abubakar, has commended Umaru Finteri's re-election as the governor of Adamawa State, describing it as a win for democracy. Atiku, in a statement shortly after the victory, said the triumph proves that good can overcome bad. Meanwhile, INEC will later today present the certificate of return to the Adamawa State Governor-elect Amadou Finteri and his deputy, Professor Caleb Faratwa. The Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi says Mr. Julius Abure, the embattled national chairman of the party, remains his own man amid the leadership crisis rocking the party. Obi spoke at the LP National Executive Council meeting in Asaba, Delta State. Socio-political group Pandev has urged the leadership of the APC to zone the position of Senate President to the South-South geopolitical zone in the interest of equity and fairness. In a statement by the group's spokesman, Ken Robinson, Pandev said it is only proper for the ruling party, which has a majority of senators-elect, to zone the highly coveted position to the South-South zone. The Nigerian Correctional Service has revealed that about 3,298 inmates across the custodial centers in Nigeria are on death row. The public relations officer, Mr. Abubakar Umar, disclosed this to journalists today. He said with the emergence of the NCOS Act 2019, which made the prisons a correctional center, the term condemned criminal was abrogated as it is stigmatizing. Still ahead, Chairman, Aviation Union in River State, Razak Animoshan, speaks on next line of action by aggrieved workers. Stay tuned as we go for a quick break.
You are tuned in.
Thank you for staying tuned. Welcome back. River State Governor Nyesom Wike has advised churches to be careful of politicians with deceptive motives. Governor Wike gave the advice at the inauguration of the reconstructed Crowder Girls' School and adjoining roads in Elenewo, Obiakpa local government area yesterday. He expressed gratitude to the church for supporting his government.
And that's why I've told the church to be careful of politicians who want to use the church. The church will always identify with those who from beginning have always worked with them. Not because when election comes, they'll come and talk to you. It's a Christian. Christianity is not only during the election. Christianity should be done from the onset.
The governor also announced the donation of 500 million naira for the rehabilitation of the school and promised to construct the internal roads as a parting gift to the people of Elenewo.
My wife said if there's one parting gift I must do for her is to make sure that we try to rehabilitate this school here. And that we are going to do by making sure we donate to the school the sum of 500 million naira. For the parting gift for the Elenewo people, we will do your internal roads.
The chairman of Airport Transport Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Port Harcourt chapter, Razak Animashuan, says the 2 days warning strike did not yield result due to failure of their counterparts in Abuja and Lagos to stop operations. Mr. Razak said this while responding to questions on Nigeria InfoFM's Morning Crossfire. He said the union will continue to demand for better welfare until something is done by the government.
The government is taking us for a ride. Caricature. After all, there were still flight movement. Was there any strike? But it's
next line of action by Friday if the government fails to address their demand.
What the union is expecting is by Friday, if there's no any response from federal government, the union will now meet. I said they will now meet and now decide the next line of action. The head of all the agencies also, they are doing their own underground consultation also, not to allow this kind of thing to happen. Because definitely the minister will not like all these things to be happening. These are things that the government can address. The condition of service, the non-implementation of minimum wage, and to put a stop, not to demolish our headquarters.
In business, the currency in circulation in the country jumped by 701.4 trillion naira in 1 month to hit 1.6 trillion naira in March 2023 after the Central Bank of Nigeria reversed its policy on the naira redesign. Figures obtained from the CBN revealed that 2.3 trillion naira was mopped up from circulation during the period under review. In entertainment, U.S. pop star Aaron Carter accidentally drowned in his bathtub because of drugs he had taken, a coroner's report says. 34-year-old Carter, the younger brother of the Backstreet Boys Nick Carter, was found dead at his home in Lancaster, California on 5th November. The autopsy has now revealed that his death was caused by drowning due to the 8 medical professionals accused of responsibility in the death of football legend Diego Maradona will indeed stand trial. The 8 medical professionals had appealed a 2022 decision to put them on trial for homicide with potential aggravating circumstances. Maradona died in November 2020 at the age of 60 while recovering from brain surgery for a blood clot and after decades of battles with cocaine and alcohol addictions.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
Data released by the United Nations shows that India is set to overtake China to become the most populous country in the world by the middle of this year. The data shows that India will have 2.9 million more people than its Asian neighbor. The Asian nations have more than 1.4 billion people each and have accounted for more than a third of the global population for over 70 years. On the news this afternoon, you heard police authority has demoted the officer for assaulting a man in Emoa, LGA of Rivers State. PDP has dismissed the alleged suspension of Rivers' former federal lawmakers. Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has backed embattled national chairman Julius Abure. Chairman of one of the aviation unions at the Port Harcourt International Airport, Razak Animation, has spoken on the next line of action by aggrieved workers. On the foreign scene, India population is to surpass China by mid-2023. The news was edited by Onyeka Chinwosu. Partly sunny weather in Port Harcourt this afternoon. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. I am Kala Dakuru Batbo. Good afternoon.
Stay on track with Nigeria.